Today, we'll be talking about the recent clash between Republican lawmakers and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as the SEC, over its approach to regulating digital assets.
Your regulatory style lacks flexibility and nuance, and as a result, you've been an incompetent cop on the beat, doing nothing to protect everyday Americans and pushing American firms into the hands of the CCP. Your intention to work against SEC mission and put American investors in harm's way has been made very apparent, sir. It's been a year and a half since you've appeared before this committee. You need to answer to Congress about the issues that you've had with the SEC staff union, the work environment you've cultivated at the SEC that's led to hemorrhaging of senior staff, the intellectual inconsistency of your regulatory treatment towards Bitcoin spot ETFs, and your politicization of capital formation opportunities through your treatment of certain SPACs. And that's just to name a few.
We'll also be discussing the ongoing legal battle between Coinbase, the largest U.S. cryptocurrency exchange, and the SEC.
Investors are worried that this could turn out to be a years-long battle. We've seen with Ripple, for example, and the SEC, this is been going on for some time. Are you prepared for a battle with the SEC of this kind of length?
Absolutely. I mean, we never seek litigation, but it seems in this case that they have initiated it. And if we need to get the courts to get the clarity that we need, then we're very prepared to do that. I think the law is on our side, and the SEC has to follow rule of law. I think their actions would not be sympathetic to a jury. And so we're very prepared for this. We're going to court to win, just to be clear. I think we have a very strong case, and that's exactly what we intend to do.
At a recent House oversight hearing, Republican lawmakers criticized SEC Chair Gary Gensler's crackdown on cryptocurrency, claiming that it has failed to bring stability to digital asset markets.
Chairman Gensler, your record of failures to protect investors and abuses of power make it clear that we need to restructure the Securities and Exchange Commission. To correct a long series of abuses, I'm introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and replaces the role with an executive director that reports to the board where all authority would reside. Former chairs of the SEC will be ineligible under my proposed bill. And this isn't just my take. It resonates across the political spectrum. The American people want democratic access to capital, retail investor participation. You can't just exclude retail investors from markets and claim it's for their own good. Our markets need to function and flourish, and I yield back.
They argue that Gensler's approach is driving innovation overseas and endangering American competitiveness. Cryptocurrency lobbyists have been pushing lawmakers for months to take a more aggressive tack with Gensler, who has significantly dialed up SEC enforcement since last year's spectacular collapse of the FTX exchange.
As amended, I'm asking you, sitting in your chair now, to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
Without speaking to anyone.
I know you've repeatedly said you're not going to speak to one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin.
Gensler has long argued that much of the lightly regulated $1 trillion market violates U.S. securities rules because many of the products consist of unregistered securities. At the same hearing, Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, spoke out against the SEC's recent decision to issue the exchange with a Wells notice.
Let's talk about the SEC a little bit. They issued you a Wells notice not too long ago. Have you got more clarity on precisely what the SEC is worried about right now?
Unfortunately, no. We've met with them over 30 times in the last year. And then, of course, they allowed us to go public as an S1. we filed and had many in-depth conversations with them about our business. But even over the last year, we had 30 meetings. Never got a single piece of feedback from them about what we could be doing better or differently. And then this Wells notice arrived. And so it's really unfortunate. I think we're going to have to actually end up going to court to get the clarity we need and create that case law. It's an abdication of responsibility. I mean, the regulator's job is to publish a clear rule book and allow that market to be safe, but also to flourish in that country. And I think they've completely abdicated responsibility.
This is often one of the final steps before the regulator formally issues charges. Armstrong called the move unfortunate and said the company has not received any more information on the specific issues the SEC has. He also accused the SEC of an abdication of responsibility and said that the agency's job is to publish a clear rulebook and allow the market to be safe and to flourish.
Yeah, and you've been sort of talking and been pretty critical of the SEC and others as well in terms of their regulatory approach. What does that mean for Coinbase's business in terms of, are you looking at other jurisdictions to set up shop in terms of headquarters, relocation, anything of that sort?
Yeah. Well, you know, we're a business with like any business, we have a budget and we have to decide where to allocate it. And so that means what products we want to build, but it also means what countries we want to invest in any given year. And with the US kind of lagging a little bit, having this regulation by enforcement approach that's really, instead of just creating a clear rule book so that everybody has to play on a level playing field, we are looking at other markets. I think the UK is actually a very good one for us. It's our, you know, it's the first country we went into outside of the US. It's our second highest revenue country. And the UK, we've seen really great leadership from everyone from the PM, the city minister, kind of talking about how they want crypto to be based here in the UK. They want it to be a Web3 hub. That's really attractive for us, and so we have an office here, we have a presence. I think we're probably going to invest more.
Armstrong also revealed that Coinbase is considering investing more outside of the US and could even relocate from the country if regulatory progress remains stagnant. He said that while the US has the potential to be an important market in crypto, right now it is not delivering regulatory clarity. If this goes on, Coinbase would consider options of investing more abroad, including relocating. Investors in Coinbase will be watching how the SEC issue plays out, with some fearing that if various crypto assets are deemed securities, Coinbase would need to register as a securities exchange in order to keep offering trading in those assets. Furthermore, under current securities law, securities exchanges are not permitted to offer services directly to retail customers, and Coinbase could theoretically be forced to separate the exchange and broker portions of the business.